History tells us that Antarctica was discovered in 1820. We are told it is a dead continent, a frozen wasteland, where nothing and no one has ever lived. But if that is true, how do you explain this? This is the Piri Reis map, drawn in 1513. It details the coastline of South America and Africa with astonishing accuracy. But look further south, it depicts the coastline of Antarctica, not as a jagged block of ice, but as land. Ice-free land, rivers, mountains, valleys. Modern scans confirm that this map matches the bedrock topography hidden beneath 2 miles of ice today. How could a sailor in 1513 map a continent that wouldn't be discovered for another 300 years? And more disturbingly, how did he know what it looked like before the Ice Age? Welcome to Civilization Blueprints. Today, we are not just looking at a map. We are deconstructing the biggest secret on Earth. We are going to the one place on the planet civilians are forbidden to explore. We are looking beneath the ice. Think about it. We have mapped the surface of Mars in higher resolution than the continent of Antarctica. Why? Is it just the cold? Or is there something else? In 1946, the U.S. Navy launched Operation Highjump. It wasn't a scientific expedition. It was a military invasion. 4,700 men, 13 ships, 33 aircraft, led by Admiral Richard Byrd. They went to Antarctica heavily armed. They came back early and defeated. In a frantic interview, Admiral Byrd warned of an enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. What did they find? Did they find ice? Or did they find an entrance? To understand the truth, we have to stop thinking of Antarctica as an island. We need to look at the blueprint of the Earth itself. What if the ground beneath our feet isn't solid? But the Americans weren't the first to look for something down there. 8 years before Admiral Byrd's invasion, another superpower turned its eyes to the ice. In 1938, Nazi Germany sent a massive expedition to Queen Maud Land. They didn't just map it, they claimed it. They dropped thousands of metal swastika flags onto the ice to mark their territory. They called it Neuschwabenland. But why? Germany was preparing for a massive war in Europe. Why divert precious resources to the end of the world? Official records say it was to secure whale oil. But historians have uncovered strange orders. Orders to build a permanent base within the ice. Rumors of Base 211. A secret fortress hidden inside the geothermal caverns we now know exist. Grand Admiral Karl Donitz, the head of the German Navy, made a statement in 1943 that still puzzles historians today. He said, "The German submarine fleet is proud of having built for the Führer, in another part of the world, a Shangri-La on land, an impregnable fortress." Shangri-La, a paradise, hidden from the world. Was he talking about a bunker in Berlin, or was he talking about something else? When the war ended, many German U-boats simply vanished. They never surrendered. Did they disappear into the Atlantic? Or did they head south, using the maps they created in 1938 to navigate underwater tunnels beneath the ice shelf? This would explain Admiral Byrd's panic in 1947. If a breakaway faction had established a base using advanced technology inside the Honeycomb Earth, they would have had years to perfect it. Undisturbed. It sounds like science fiction. But documents from the FBI archives show that the Allies were genuinely terrified of what was hiding at the South Pole. Let's look at the physics. We are taught that the Earth is a solid rock with a molten core. But geologists admit we have only drilled 12 kilometers down. We have barely scratched the skin of an apple. We don't actually know what is deeper. Consider the honeycomb theory. Volcanic tubes and massive cavern systems exist all over the world. In Vietnam, the Sun Dung Cave is so massive, it has its own weather system. Clouds form inside the cave. Trees grow. Now, Apply this blueprint to Antarctica. Beneath the Antarctic ice sheet there is heat, massive geothermal vents. Volcanoes like Mount Erebus are active right now. Where fire meets ice, you get water and pockets of air. Vast pockets. This is Lake Vostok. It is buried under 4 kilometers of solid ice. It is huge, 15,000 square kilometers. The water down there has been sealed off from the rest of the world for 15 million years. By all logic, it should be sterile. Dead. But when Russian scientists drilled down and took a sample, they found life. Thousands of different DNA sequences, bacteria, fungi, some of it matching nothing else on Earth. Complex life is thriving in total darkness, under crushing pressure. If life can survive in the water, could it survive in the dry caverns above it? Imagine a cavern the size of Switzerland, shielded from the freezing wind by a roof of ice 3 kilometers thick, heated from below by geothermal vents. The temperature wouldn't be -50. It could be a tropical 20 degrees Celsius. A perfect, isolated biosphere. If you were an ancient civilization facing a cataclysm on the surface, a flood, an ice age, or a war, wouldn't this be the perfect bunker? The ultimate safe house? This brings us to the most controversial theory of all. The inhabitants. Evolution adapts to environment. In an environment with slightly lower gravity, which is possible deep underground, and higher oxygen levels from a contained ecosystem, biology changes. Things get bigger. Is this why nearly every ancient culture on Earth, from the Sumerians to the Bible, speaks of giants? Did they die out? Or did they just move downstairs? Let's switch off the conspiracy for a moment and turn on the engineering mindset. If a civilization actually exists down there, how does it work? How do you build a city under the ice? First challenge, energy. On the surface, we burn fossil fuels. Stupid and dirty. Underground, you are sitting on an infinite battery. Geothermal energy. A Type 1 civilization living near the mantle wouldn't need solar panels. They would tap directly into the heat of the planet. Unlimited, clean power. This explains why we see no smoke, no pollution signals. Second challenge, light. Humans need vitamin D. Plants need photosynthesis. You cannot survive in the dark. But look at the accounts of Agartha or the Hollow Earth. They don't describe darkness. They describe a smoky god or an inner sun. Technologically, this could be a suspended fusion reactor, or more simply, bioluminescence on an industrial scale. Or perhaps mirrors. A system of crystalline shafts drilled through the ice, channeling sunlight from the surface, amplifying it, and dispersing it into the caverns below. The Piri Reis map shows mountains. Maybe those aren't mountains. Maybe they are light intake towers. Third challenge, structural integrity. How do you stop 3 kilometers of ice from crushing your roof? You don't build under the ice. You build inside the bedrock. You use the continent itself as a shield. We see strange anomalies on Google Earth, the so-called pyramids in the Ellsworth Mountains. Skeptics say it's just erosion. But look at the geometry. Precise cardinal alignment. 4 symmetrical sides. In architecture, nature rarely makes perfect squares. What if these aren't tombs? What if they are the tips of massive structural supports? The pillars holding up the ceiling of the world below? Now, look at the isolation. If you lived down there, would you want to contact us? We are noisy. We destroy our environment. We drop nuclear bombs. From their perspective, we are the dangerous barbarians living on the roof. Maybe the UFOs we see, those tic-tacs that drop from space into the ocean without a splash, aren't coming from other planets. Maybe they are just coming home. This would explain why they are so interested in our nuclear silos. They share the house with us. If we burn the roof down, the basement smokes too. So, where is the proof? Why haven't we found them? Maybe we have. Whistleblowers from Raytheon and contractors working at the South Pole Station have reported strange things for decades. Neutrino detectors picking up signals that shouldn't exist. The Antarctic no-fly zone is strictly enforced. If you try to sail a private boat to Antarctica without a permit, you will be stopped by a military vessel before you even see the ice shelf. Why protect a frozen desert so aggressively? Is it to protect the penguins? Or is it to keep us out? We are entering a new era of discovery. Satellites are using LiDAR to strip away the canopy of the Amazon, revealing lost cities. Ground-penetrating radar is scanning the sands of Arabia. The ice is the last veil, and as the climate changes, the ice is thinning. Whatever is hidden down there won't stay hidden forever. The blueprints of the past are emerging, whether it is ancient ruins, a thriving breakaway civilization, or just the geological reality of a honeycomb Earth. The truth is waiting. We look to the stars for intelligent life. We spend billions on telescopes to scan the galaxy. But perhaps we are looking in the wrong direction. Maybe we are not alone on this planet. We never were. This is Civilization Blueprints. Keep questioning the structure.